Hi again guys, and so we've got another Gran Turismo 6 replica style build for you today, and this time it's for a racing Jaguar, the Team RSR XKR GT2 machine, which is of course currently not featured on the game unfortunately, but as it happens we can make a pretty good replica of this car on Gran Turismo with only one discrepancy, which is unfortunately the weight, which is around 100 kilos heavier than the actual car. But as always, I'll show you what I've done to get the visual look of the car. Then of course we'll go over to the garage for the tuning setup and finally take it out to Silverstone to see what it's capable of. So as far as the visual replica on this car, we've actually got a pretty decent amount of custom parts to make the look of the car pretty accurate. I mean, it's never going to be 100% accurate, but it actually looks like a convincing racing machine. So you want your Type A body kit, of course. The flat floor, which really makes the back of the car look the part. For the rear wing, we've got a custom wing. We've gone for the Type E wing support, which is a relatively minimal wing support. The Type B wing itself, and the Type A winglets on the end with the maximum width and height on those. As far as the rims, we've gone for the BBS LMRs, which are fairly accurate actually to the real car's rims. For the additional meters actually look pretty good on this car. They don't just sit in the middle of the dashboard and look tacky. They actually fit in with the look of the car. So I've chosen to go for water, oil temp and oil pressure, but obviously just go for whichever ones you feel most appropriate to the car. As far as the paint, for the body I've actually gone for British green. Now I can't remember exactly what car that comes from, but there are quite a few different greens to choose from, of course, on Gran Turismo, darker greens. The car is, of course, a two-tone. It's a very dark green with kind of a lime green, so you could go for one of those two, I guess, or a completely different colour entirely. For the rims and brakes, we've gone for Phantom Black, which comes from the Chaparral Vision GT car, but there are plenty of other blacks if you don't want to buy that Chaparral that you can fit to the car to make it look good. So that's it for the visual setup, and of course I've got the number 33 on the side, which is the actual race number of the car. So now let's take it over to the tuning garage for the mechanical setup. Now, although this is first and foremost a replica tune, it does actually sit quite nicely at the 590 pp level. So I've opted for racing soft tyres. For the suspension we've got the ride height on 70 front and rear, springs on 1475 and 1275, the dampers to 4, anti-roll to 7, camber on 3 with neutral toe. For the gearbox, an auto setting of 230, then for the individual gears we've got 3.3, 2140, 1530, 1154 all the way to the left, then all the way to the left on 5th and 0.740 on 6th with a final drive of 3.2. For the diff we've got the lowest initial torque, and the wheel spin on this car is shockingly minimal. Highest acceleration and a braking sensitivity of 15. As far as the power, I've fitted quite a few of the upgrades to increase the red line to make it sound and rev more like an actual racing machine. So I believe, if I remember correctly, I have given this one an oil change. So you want the Stage 3 engine tune, the sports computer, race exhaust, sports cat, and leave the supercharger intake and manifold because those just aren't needed. That's excess power that you don't need, and they don't actually raise the red line any higher. Downforce, I'm not sure why that was lower, you want that on the maximum. The full weight loss package, of course, which unfortunately still isn't quite as light as the real thing, just under 100 kilos off. But that's it for the mechanical setup, which quite nicely sits at 590 pp. So let's finally take it out to the track to see what it can do. Now overall, I have to say, this car actually really pleasantly surprised me by just how good it actually handles. I hoped that it would handle well, of course, but I didn't expect it to handle as well as it does. The level of grip that this car has, considering that underneath all the tuning it is still a road car, it handles incredibly well. The grip is unbelievable for a road car. It's almost impossible to actually make this car wheel spin. I mean, obviously if you pull the handbrake you can, but going around corners it handles itself and composes itself remarkably well. The 550 horsepower engine and the fact that we've restricted it but with more parts means that it's got a very healthy amount of torque. The weight, although not completely accurate, is still great, and if you decide to use this tune, I guarantee you will find it fun and potentially competitive if you use it for racing. So if you'd like to keep up with more special projects and replicas like this, be sure to subscribe down below, and as always, thanks for watching.